Hello everyone, this is Star Snova here. This is my video about my thoughts on continuing the expanded universe through fan fiction. I think there's been there's been debates among the EU community, and honestly, I like to give my own thoughts on it. Continuing the expanded universe through fan fiction, it sounds like a good idea on paper, but when you really think about it, it's awful. There's just so much wrong with continuing the expanded universe through fan fiction. I'm going to give my reasons why. The fans won't be able to agree on what is and what is canon. Because fans, here's something some people need to know about Star Wars fans, at least legends. Not every part of the expanded universe is embraced, even by EU fans. There's some EU fans that don't embrace anything that comes after Vision of the Future. There's some EU fans that don't embrace anything in the Old Republic era or the prequels, whatever. Star Wars fans are unique in the sense that they have, at least they had, their own perception what was and what wasn't canon. And this way of thinking is, there's nothing wrong with it, if you, in my opinion, because what you're doing isn't harming anyone. But from a storytelling perspective, you can't have that way of thinking when you're continuing the expanded universe. And not to mention, we don't have a group of people, no individuals who can write that can coordinate together to write a cohesive universe. Because here's the thing, it is not possible humanly for everyone to have read all of the expanded universe. Matt Wilkins is one of the few exceptions, but not everyone is like him. But even someone like Matt Wilkins doesn't remember every single detail that happened in the EU. And you have to be careful on what you do. And because we don't have the holocron, all the database on everything in the notes on the EU, what stuff that's happened, what's going to happen in the future. That's another thing why it's a bad idea. Not to mention people who criticize the expanded universe, calling it fan fiction. Some of the EU haters. It only will strengthen their view. See, told you it's fan fiction. That's exactly what would happen. And not to mention, it would delegitimize what the EU movement is all about. Getting the expanded universe continues an alternate universe. Writing your own fanfic, of your own adventures about what happened in the Star Wars universe, that's fine. If you want to write something cool, maybe some cool what-if scenario, or maybe have some things happen slightly different for the movies, or want to give Star Wars some new flavor to it. But that's something that's fine, because that is something that's being done for fun. But when you're writing a big, cohesive story, that doesn't work. Because you'll have fans, that accept this was what happened. You have fans that accept that this is what happened. And everyone has to be on the same page. Because here's the thing. Not everyone is going to agree about what happened to Luke in the expanded universe. What happens to him? When does he die? And I'm in the camp that believes that Luke became one with the Force. His death is similar to what happened with Yoda. That's what I believe happened. But some people may not agree with that. That he died during his battle with Olaboth. I'm sorry, I don't know that much for that in the timeline. So forgive me for that mistake if it is one. Some people may not agree with what happened, with Jaina and all those other characters. Everyone will have their own differences in their head what happened, and that's not good. We need an official author's word. When they, write something and we pick up that book one day, that is what should be recognized as canon, not some fan fiction works that other people write. Because regardless what you guys want to say, fan fiction, most of it is garbage. Most of you, I doubt any of you guys have read fan fiction. I have. Continuing fan fiction, Star Wars fan fiction is so it's such a terrible idea that it just makes me sick to my stomach. Whether it's a fan film or some fan fiction, it's terrible. I do not like the idea of continuing it through fan fiction. In fact, I detest it. It just reinforces what the opposition's been saying the whole time. And no, the EU is not fan fiction. The EU is above, continuing it through fan fiction. It deserves better. For me, it gets continued through official means or not at all. I'm not going to take any exceptions to this. I don't care if someone wrote some really good story that ties, Crucible into the Legacy comics. I will not accept that story as canon. Unless it's written by someone in Lucasfilm and they publish it as an addition to the Legends, universe, I will not accept it as canon. The only thing that's canon is the stuff that comes out of Lucasfilm. If it isn't published by Lucasfilm, then it's not canon. Period. So, those of you who are in the camp of continuing the EU through fan fiction, forget it. There is no group to continue it. There is no people that have the holocron that has all the database of everything that's happened in the expanded universe, and not everyone has read all of the EU, and not everyone accepts all of the EU. Even those who are part of the, of the EU part of the Star Wars fandom. Not everyone accepts everything. I'm in the camp that thinks that everything that's published before 2014, that is canon to me. That's what I considered canon in the expanded universe. Everything that was published from 1976 through the final novel that was published, all that is canon. Nothing that gets published after that is canon until Lucasfilm publishes a new novel in the new, in the expanded universe. That's how I look at it. So, get this notion of continuing the expanded universe through fan fiction out of your mind. It's a terrible idea, and honestly, I'd rather have the expanded universe die completely than continue it through fan fiction. It's harsh for me saying that, but I love the expanded universe enough where I would rather it die with honor than have it be continued through fan fiction and taint it beyond repair. This is Darcenovia, over and out.